Hi, my name is Lauren Lindquist, and this is my conclusion presentation for my 501 Developmental and Biopsychosocial Assessment. What are the implications of understanding your child's development to social work? I think it's absolutely crucial to understand development, even when you're not working directly with children, because development can impact later functioning in life. Especially if you are working with kids, you really need to be aware of the developmental norms for that age group and milestones so that you can be aware of any red flags or when the child is not meeting those targets, and you can refer out as necessary. And so that's absolutely crucial, and I really think that all social workers really need to have an understanding of that. So you must understand normative patterns and milestones, like I said. Also, it's really important to understand attachment. As we know, development and attachment can impact later functioning in life. So it's really important for children. It's also really important as an indicator for later functioning in life. Really, this should be the basis of everything, and also taking an ecological approach or a lens and looking at not only the child, but the entire family, the family systems and the social environment and what's going on and impacting the child. As we saw from our assessments, that multiple factors can impact development. Is the ASQ a good tool to use with populations of the Southwest? Did it work well with your target client? I think the ASQ is a really good screening tool to use with populations of the Southwest or all populations. I think that it's really great in the fact that it's a screening tool to help to identify if the child is meeting their milestones and if there are any red flags. I also like how user-friendly it is. I like that clinicians can use it, doctors, but also families. Like, families can help fill this out. I think it's also important to remember that this is not a tell-all. Just because a child scored a certain way, or if there are red flags, the child really should be referred for additional screenings, additional evaluations. So I don't think that we should get so caught up in that the ASQ is the final and last assessment for the child and is indicative of everything. So for my target child, she was not premature, but she was a SEN child and she was significantly delayed. And even though her chronological age was 8 months and I did the 8 months ASQ, in hindsight, I probably should have chosen earlier ASQ to account for all of the delays that she has medically and SEN, to help because I think that might have skewed it just a little bit because she's so far behind. So that was the experience that I had with my target client, and so that's a learning experience for me in the future. What did I learn from this experience and to reflect on my experiences? Well, I learned that, which I kind of knew, that multiple factors can affect development and functioning of the child. In this particular experience, this child had substance exposure in utero, which is a big thing. She was, it was confirmed a urine analysis test to marijuana. The mother and the baby tested positive at birth, and mom tested positive during pregnancy. Another thing that can impact functioning is maternal cortisol levels during pregnancy. So we've seen what that does on the body and what it can do to children during pregnancy. Another thing is domestic violence that allegedly occurred between the parents even during the pregnancy. Neglect as a newborn that she experienced. Alleged physical abuse, so that's a big one. Emotional and physical, sorry. We shouldn't only focus on the physical, emotional is just as important. So is witnessing DV. Medical issues definitely impacting her development. Also the dyadic relationship between her parents individually and how this comes into play and affects that child, especially how it affects the relationship between each parent and the child. Environmental factors as well, such as being removed from the home, being placed in foster care, lots of environmental factors. So something I struggled with was to remain completely unbiased and completely neutral and just put my judgments aside, because this child suffered such horrific abuse that was actually diagnosed as non-accidental trauma. So for me, it was a little hard to remain completely neutral. And when I saw that the foster mom had such an unbelievable bond with this child and really a secure attachment was formed between the caregiver, the foster mom, and the child, it was hard for me to know that this case plan is family reunification. And furthermore, the plan is transitioning home, which I believe is a wonderful thing, but it's so hard. It's a double-edged sword because this child has been placed with this foster mom since day 6, and this is really all she knows. And during the visits, she's reported to scream and cry the entire time, dysregulated, comes back as dysregulated from the visits. And so, that was something I struggled with the most, is how to remain neutral, in light of all of that. Overall, this was an excellent experience for me. I love doing this project. I thought it was great, and I hope you all had fun too. Thank you so much, and maybe I'll see you next semester. Bye.